What's going on, guys? It's Kolev, and I wanted to go ahead and create a video of some tips to kind of like point people in the right direction, because I feel like a lot of people are getting stuck. They feel like they can't progress anymore. Everybody's always ahead of them, and they don't really know what's going on. They feel like they're driving good, their lines are good, but there's a few things that are keeping them from really progressing and getting to the higher elite ranks, champ ranks, so on and so forth. But I wanted to create this video to go ahead and kind of showcase that, showcase the tips that can actually push you past the, where you think you're stuck at. The map that we're in right now is Olympus. I think it's one of the best maps to actually showcase a lot of these things I'm going to tell you in this video. And it's one of the funnest maps too. It's an expert level map, but it's not super hard. It's not really expert. I think it's more like intermediate, but it is fun. And there are a lot of things that you can and cannot do. It's really just up to you. But we're gonna get into these tips in the video. I don't know how many are gonna be in this video, but I'm just gonna give you as many as I can to hopefully help you out into progressing throughout the ranks in Rocket Racing. All right, so the first thing we're gonna start is simple, right? Whenever you're starting in the middle, you really want to hit the green. You want to be right on the green. So when it's going from red, green, you want to like accelerate right on that green. That's gonna get you the max boost. It's gonna get you the best boost, and especially when you start getting into the higher ranks, you're gonna want to at least be getting 50, 60 plus, at least in the beginning. You don't need to, but it's just gonna put you in a better position to start the race, because you get caught in the pack, it's gonna suck, and nobody likes that. So all right, the second thing is, this game is all about drifting, right? It's all about drifting. It's all about managing your boost. Okay, I don't know what we're doing there. One of the things that you have to keep in mind of whenever you're doing this, whenever you are racing, is understanding the actual map that you're in, right? You don't want to go into a map with no knowledge. Once you get into the map, you can think of some creative things to do to gain boost. Like that wall, I don't see a lot of people doing that at all. And I'm in the higher ranks. I don't see anybody doing that, right? The biggest thing is using boost when you can, or using drift when you can. Drift only around the corners and save your boost for straightaways, because that's when you can't really drift. Whenever you're drifting in straightaways, you're losing a lot of speed. You're not really gaining much boost anyways. So you want to use your boost to be able to push you past that straightaway, to hopefully put you in a position to be able to drift and actually gain up some boost. All right, so this part of the map is going to showcase a lot of things that you need to do. Like, you need to do no matter what rank you are, especially in the higher ranks. You need to do the shortcuts, guys. Like, you have to do the shortcuts without a doubt about it in my mind. If you don't do the shortcuts, you are losing every single time. That rhymed and that was sick, but it's legitimate. All right, so this one right here, I still don't see a lot of people doing this one. I see them doing half of it, but the full one's better. All right, so for example, you're coming up this ramp right here. You're gonna come up. You're gonna come up. You're gonna jump right from this corner, go over that, boost, and boom, you skipped all of that part. So that probably saved you, I don't know, 5-6 seconds, right? You're gonna come up here. We're getting to the second part now. Oh, by the way, most people don't do it from the beginning. They do it toward the second checkpoint. Right here, boom, jump right over this rock, boost. You just gotta go through that, boom. Now you're there. Again, that whole shortcut routine saved like 10, 15, 16 seconds, something like that. It's a lot of time. I haven't timed it myself, but I know it's a lot because I've been in the far back, used those shortcuts, and ended up coming back and getting second. So that's another one. Going up top. The reason why you go up top is it's just faster in general, right? It's faster. You get those, you get tighter corners. Now there's another one. There's another thing you can do and get up top here. Oh well, it's gonna kill me. But there's another thing you can do by getting up top here, right? And I don't know. To me, I don't really know if it's worth it, because for the most part, I'm trying to get boost. I'm trying to make sure my boost is pretty high. Now maybe for the last lap, maybe you can do it, but usually what I like doing, especially in this map, is drifting to this corner, drifting, and then I'm drifting up here on this wall. Like, I just gained like almost a full bar, like half a bar of boost just from doing that right there, right? Just on the wall alone. But anyways, that's the main thing I wanted y'all to get from this, is do the shortcuts. You have to do the shortcuts. You need to do the shortcuts. They are absolutely vital in you ranking up in Rocket Racing. All right, the third thing that I want y'all to know is there's some mechanics that some people really don't know about, and not a lot of people are talking about at all. For example, there's a way you can actually fly further without having like to use boost or anything, right? So say I'm coming around I'm coming to this. Now, if I would normally just fly, right? Tap like this. I'm not making it. Like, I'm not making it. It's impossible to make. So, but if you actually drive toward it, press down, your car's gonna tip up, and it's actually gonna get you further. Now, in a real race, I'll be going a lot faster, and you will be able to do it. I mean, I could just show you. All right, so if I'm actually building up speed. All right, I can do a little up flip. You get the point, right? Like, that mechanic is huge. It's really vital, and especially in some of the like actual expert level maps, you definitely want to be using that because there's a huge shortcut on one of the maps that you need to be doing that to make sure that you're getting, you know, as far as you can before you need to actually use your air dodge. All right, the next thing I want to show y'all is a thing called chain drifting. It's another concept and another mechanic that not a lot of people are really talking about, and a lot of people I don't even think know exists. So basically what chain drifting is when you drift to one side and immediately drift to the other. So it's in a chain, just like that. So your drift actually never stops, right? Like, at least like the boost meter building from your drift, it never stops. So basically, like, the way to do this is you start your drift to one side and double tap to the next. Now, sometimes it doesn't do it, sometimes it does. Like right there, it did. So I don't know if it's a mechanic that's, see, like right there, it did it. I don't know if it's a mechanic that supposed to be in the game or if it's just a loose mechanic. Like, I wasn't really doing it there, but that mechanic is absolutely huge when you're going around really tight turns because it keeps the slower momentum that you're going, and like sometimes a little wonky there, keeps the slower momentum you're going around one turn and it immediately transfers it to the next. So instead of having to, you know, boost this hard this way and then wait for your car to actually do the boost, because usually that's what screws people up, is they'll be drifting around the corner, they'll go back straight, and then they'll boost. And that's actually another thing that I wanted to mention, that a lot of people I don't think know about, is resetting your boost alignment. So basically what I mean by that is whenever you're boosting like this, most people just move their analog the opposite way so that their car straightens out. And that's, I mean, I get it. I did the same thing. A lot of us did the same thing, right? But that's not the best way to do it, right? Because it takes time. You're not really in control of the time it takes for your car to actually swing back. So what you do is, whenever you're boosting, you boost back the opposite direction. Meaning, for example, square is my drift, right? X is your drift you play on Xbox. Drift X, and then you then you press X or square to the left, to the opposite direction that you started the boost from. And that will actually boost you back in place. Not a lot of people know about that. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it's a crucial technique that a lot of higher level players do to be able to keep up with the pack and actually win games. So keep that one in mind. All right, the next tip, I can't really show it in this, but you see it all the time. It's a pretty well-known mechanic, but it's a very important mechanic that most people really need to understand how important it is actually drafting players. Now, there's a lot of times where you make mistakes, right? You'll boost, then you'll die, you'll think the game's over, and you'll immediately back out. Drafting is huge, man. If you just died and you're trying to make it back, you don't know if you can. Draft. Get up close. Use as much boost as you can to get up to the players, because then you're able to draft. If you try to save your boost, because a lot of people say save your boost, save your boost. No. If you are in the back, use your boost. Get back up to the pack. Stay with the pack, because if you're in the pack, right, you don't want to be in the pack. The pack isn't a good place to be. It's not a fun place to be in. But if you just died and you're trying to get back in the race and potentially win, get in the pack, right? Because then you're able to draft off players. Now, the speed that you accumulate from drafting is actually pretty insane, right? And you can use it to your advantage. Now, this leads me to my next tip with drafting it's the main thing that I want to tell y'all, and the main important thing about this video that I want to tell y'all is how to win when you're in this last situation, when it's just you, the finish line, but there's, you know, three of y'all are neck and neck. What is the best place to put yourself in this position? Now, the actual answer isn't first. You wouldn't want to be first. Now obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit. You don't want to be this close. You want to be further back. And it really depends on the map, right? But say like you're neck and neck, right? It's you and 3 other people. You are drafting each other, and and they're ahead of you. They're ahead of you, but you're behind them. You're actually in the best position to win the race. Let me tell you why. That first place person is not going to have any drafting. He's not going to have the draft speed. Don't know what my car is doing. Here we go. Rocket racing, baby. But what you could do, right? And it's the fastest you can actually be in this game. And not a lot of people know about it, but it's the fastest you can actually boost in the game. It's the highest speed, the highest KPH. I know you see a lot of clickbait videos of 3,000 KPH. That doesn't exist. Not a thing. But the fastest you can be is boosting during a draft. And I'm talking the peak of the draft. So the peak meaning right at the middle. Right when you're drafting, you've been drafting for a little bit. It's about to go off in like, a few more seconds. You boost right there, you hit the top speed, the top speed that you can actually go in this game. Now obviously I'm not showing you that in this video right now. That is a mechanic that a lot of people come back and win from, and first place can't do anything about it because they can't reach that speed, no matter if they have 3 boosts in stock, 2 boosts in stock, because the boosts don't really chain off each other. The boost doesn't add to the previous boost speed. But this is the only thing that actually does stack. So from the drafting speed to the boost speed is the max speed that you can actually go in this game. And that's really the final takeaway I want to give y'all in this video of just some tips, is just understanding these concepts, understanding these even the small nuances, but even the basic ones, right? Like the green lights, understanding that you need to do that. Like you need to be, especially in the upper echelon, the higher tier, the higher ranks you get, you need to be able to time those good to put yourself in a better position to get away from the pack. I'm not saying that you need to be in first place all the time, because that could even hurt you, right? Whenever you are in, 3rd, 4th place, you're able to draft. And when you're able to draft, you don't need to use boost, right? When you're in that first place position, sometimes you need to use the boost just so that you stay on top. But that's not always the case, right? If you're drafting behind other players, you can utilize that draft speed to conserve your boost, and that could propel you forward in the map. Now, obviously, there's more tips. I know a lot of other things that can help you, but I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to waste y'all's time. So if y'all do want another video, please let me know down in the comments. If you have some more tips too, let me know down in the comments as well. Maybe there's some things that I don't really know. Again, I'm not a pro level player. Like, I'm not a master at this game. I feel like I know enough about this game to get into the upper echelons of ranks, and I'm in elite. So I feel like I do know a few things. I'm not the best at all the maps. There's still a few maps that I'm not even the greatest at. By the end of the day, the best way to realistically get good at this game is like anything else in life, right? It's to practice. You need to practice, practice your mechanics. And the cool thing about this game, when you compare it to something like Rocket League, is that the mechanics aren't as difficult as Rocket League, right? Rocket League is a completely physics-based game. This game's everything has a set boundary, right? A set motion. A lot of it is more of just understanding that it exists, right? And then practicing it to where you understand how far that drift will take you, how far a long drift will take you, stuff like that. And then once you understand those certain mechanics, you're still gonna start getting better. 3 main things: drift, map knowledge, and then mechanics, right? Those are the main simple concepts of this game. And obviously it gets more deep than that, but it's just like Rocket League. Rocket League is very basic at the surface, but it gets more complex. But anyways, guys, I'm giving a rant now. So I want to give y'all back some of y'all's time. So if y'all enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. Comment, like I said, if y'all have any other tips, and comment if you want me to make another video with some more tips. I can share as much as I can. I'll share whatever I can. I'm not one to not share certain shortcuts or secrets with y'all. I'm just trying to help the community out, and hopefully y'all appreciate some of these videos. So if y'all do want to see another one, let me know in the comments. Love y'all.